This is Radio Nepal. I'm DILA PARSAI with the news, the headlines first. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba inspects disaster-hit districts in Province 1. Prime Minister vows to provide relief packages to people in the affected areas. Recent rain-induced disasters damaged roadway infrastructures worth 1 billion and 50 million rupees. Chief Justice Cholendra Samsai Rana to discuss the issue of reformation in judiciary in full court, including representatives of Nepal Bar Association today. And more than 260 Houthi rebels killed in fighting over the past 3 days near Yemen's strategic city of Marib. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba inspected the natural disaster-hit districts of Province 1 yesterday. Prime Minister Deuba visited Sunsari, Morang, Ilam and Panchthar districts affected by recent floods and landslides and inundation. The Prime Minister also met the survivors and acquired information about the situation in the affected areas. During the visit, Prime Minister Deuba vowed to provide relief packages to the survivors of recent incidents of water-induced disasters across the country. He pledged to provide immediate relief to the victims by making short and long-term plans. Talking to media persons at the Biratnagar airport yesterday, Prime Minister Deuba said the government would ensure food and shelter to the affected households. The Prime Minister further said the Council of Ministers would soon take necessary decisions for providing relief to the survivors. He also expressed his commitment that the government would work in a planned way for the prevention and mitigation of the possible flood and landslide in the future. The Prime Minister urged all to get united to tackle the natural disasters. Prime Minister Deuba was accompanied by Minister for Communication and Information Technology Gyanendra Bahadur Karki and Minister for Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation Pampha Bhusal, among others. The recent rain-induced disasters have damaged roadway infrastructures worth 1 billion and 50 million rupees. Speaking at a meeting of the Development and Technology Committee of the Federal Parliament yesterday, Director General of the Department of Roads Arjun Jung Thapa informed that damage worth 1 billion and 50 million rupees in the national roadway was estimated during the last 7 days. He further said roadway infrastructures worth 3.4 billion rupees were damaged since the 8th of June this year. The Government and Communist Party of Nepal CPN, led by Netra Bikram Chand Biplab, held talks at Home Ministry yesterday. Discussions were held on implementation of 3 points agreement the government had with Biplab Group on March 4th early this year. The talk was attended by Home Minister Balkrishna Khand, Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Dilendra Prasad Badu, Attorney General Khamba Bahadur Khati and spokesperson of Biplab-led party Kharga Bahadur Bishwakarma Prakand. The U.S. government has announced to provide 100,620 doses of Pfizer vaccine to Nepal in grant. The U.S. Embassy, via its official Twitter handle yesterday, informed that the shipment of the vaccine would probably arrive in Kathmandu by today. The U.S. has already donated 1.5 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine to Nepal. Office bearers of Nepal Bar Association have held discussion with Chief Justice Cholendra Samsai Rana regarding reformation in the judiciary. Nepal Bar Association has informed that the meeting discussed issues related to implementing Justice Hari Krishna Karki-led committee's report and recent criticisms being made over the Supreme Court. During the meeting, Chief Justice Rana said the issues would be discussed today at the full court of the Supreme Court, including the representatives of Nepal Bar Association. Minister for Defence Dr. Minendra Rizal has said Nepal is known as the country of peacekeeping force due to the restless efforts of the Nepal Army for the establishment of peace in the world. Addressing a program organized by the Nepal Army in Kavri on the occasion of 76th Establishment Day of the United Nations yesterday, Defence Minister Rizal said a robust relation had been established between Nepal and the United Nations with the Nepal Army's contribution to peacekeeping missions. More than 135,000 personnel of Nepal Army in 43 peacekeeping missions have been deployed in several war-torn countries across the world. Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma and British Ambassador to Nepal Nicola Pollitt have held a cordial meeting at the Finance Ministry. The meeting is said to have dwelt on bilateral welfare between Nepal and the UK and the issue of climate change. The Finance Ministry informed that the issues of the losses caused by recent natural disasters in Nepal and UK's assistance for rehabilitation, relief efforts and reconstruction of the damaged infrastructures were also discussed on the occasion. A total of 557 new cases of coronavirus have been reported in the past 24 hours across the country. The Ministry of Health and Population informed that 877 people recovered from the virus infection yesterday. With this, the rate of recovery has climbed to 97.3%. Meanwhile, 3 persons died of the virus in the past 24 hours, pushing the corona-related death toll to 11,348. You're listening to Radio Nepal 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. We continue with the international updates now. More than 260 Houthi rebels were killed in fighting over the past 3 days near Yemen's strategic city of Marib, the Saudi Arabia-led coalition said on Sunday. The rebel deaths are the latest among hundreds the coalition claims have been killed in recent battles around the internationally recognized government's last bastion in oil-rich northern Yemen. 36 military vehicles were destroyed and more than 264 rebel fighters were killed in raids in the past 72 hours, the coalition said, quoted by the official Saudi press agency. The attacks were carried out in Al-Jabah, 50 kilometers south of Marib, and Al-Qasara, 30 kilometers to the northwest. The coalition has, for the past 2 weeks, reported almost daily air raids around Marib. Last week, the Saudi Arabia-led coalition said it killed 160 Houthi rebels in raids of south of Marib. The Houthis began a major push to seize Marib in February and have renewed their offensive since September after a lull. You're listening to Radio Nepal 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Time for a short break now.
ए छोरा के छ हाल खबर पढाइ कस्तो चल्दैछ
सबै राम्रै चल्दैछ अनि त्यहाँ के छ बुवा
यहाँ पनि सबै राम्रो छ ल तेरो आमासँग कुरा गर
पर्दैन किन धेरै पैसा खर्च गर्नुहुन्छ
किन टेन्सन लिन्छस् बाबु हामी जस्ताको लागि एनटीसी को कल इंडिया प्याक छदैछ नि इन्डिया कल गर्न त कस्तो सस्तो पो छ त त्यसमा
ल त्यसो भए ढुक्कले कुरा गरौँ न त
सेवा सुचारू गर्नका लागि *1415# डायल गर्नुहोस्
नेपाल टेलिकम राष्ट्रको सञ्चार
Welcome back. After the short break, we continue with the rest of the international updates. Coronavirus cases in Eastern Europe have surpassed 20 million, according to a Reuters tally on Sunday, as the region grapples with its worst outbreak since the pandemic started and inoculation efforts lag. Countries in the region have the lowest vaccination rates in Europe, with less than half of the population having received a single dose. More social gathering indoors after the lifting of restrictions just as winter sets in is driving a rise in COVID-19 infections in many countries across Europe. The World Health Organization's emergency director Mike Ryan said on Thursday. A European Commission poll, the Eurobarometer, has shown that at least one person in 3 in most countries in the European Union's east does not trust the healthcare system, compared with a bloc average of 18%. Now, the general weather forecast for the country for today. Forecasting division says the weather is likely to be partly to generally cloudy throughout the country. Light to moderate rain with thunder and lightning is likely to occur at a few places of Province 1, Bagmati Province and Gandaki Province, and at 1 or 2 places of the rest of the country. There are also chances of light snowfall at a few places of the high mountainous region. Kathmandu's weather report now. Maximum temperature of 26.6 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature of 16.4 degrees Celsius. With this news, we have come to the end of this bulletin. But before we wrap up, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Sherbadu Deuba inspects disaster-hit districts in Province 1. Prime Minister vows to provide relief packages to people in the affected areas. Rain-induced disasters damage roadway infrastructures worth 1 billion and 50 million rupees. Chief Justice Cholendra Samser Rana to discuss issue of reformation in judiciary in full court, including representatives of Nepal Bar Association today. And more than 260 Houthi rebels killed in fighting over the past 3 days near Yemen's strategic city of Marib. Well, that's all that we have for this edition. Our next English news edition is at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us on our website www.radionepal.gov.np for more news and online programs. Stay tuned, stay safe, and have a good day.